Cass,
Sam?
what was that? What's going on here?
We're uncomfortably matching.
Uncomfortably matching.
Mm-hmm.
What are we going to do about this?
Nothing.
What's up, everybody? Well, I found out how to do some voiceover, so this video is going to be a lot of that. It's a pretty visual episode. I got some cool clips of what we were doing at a little spot you may recognize from a sport you may not watch. I was at the Rose Bowl. Not in the Rose Bowl, but I was right around near it. Eventually I'm going to have like a cool little opening credit sequence thing for this, but for the moment I'm going to be doing a lot of voiceover. Today and yesterday were really similar. We were helping to decorate a float that's going to be going through the Tournament of Roses. It's a big old parade on January 1st. People are going to be sleeping out on the sidewalk to watch this thing. Emily, that's Cassidy's best friend down here, is a big mucky muck or something or else on the float committee. And so Cassidy and I helped to decorate the Cal Poly float. It's the one with the gummy bears and ice cream that you're going to be seeing later on down here. I'm going to try and do some kind of thematic stuff with the videos from here on out. I don't know exactly what I'm going to be talking about, but I'm going to try to do it split up by topics rather than just doing one every day kind of thing. I'll get into some of my plans for it later on, but this week's episode is adventure. I wanted to talk a little bit about kind of the point of being out here and what I want to accomplish while I'm here. Well, you guys check out these cool floats that we were able to see. The reason I came out to LA, I want to act, but the decision to move out here was part of something a little different. I wanted to do something hard. I felt like with what I'd been doing before in terms of like going to real person college and everything, I was sort of playing things safe. And that was all right, except I also wasn't putting in the effort. I wasn't really falling in love with any of it. And I wanted to prove to myself that I could do it. Like plenty of people, I think I've got my sort of self-doubt, and I wanted to do something that was going to scare me a little bit, something that was outside of my comfort zone, as much as I don't care much for that term. But this was last year, early 2014, when the idea to come out to LA and try to act was still a little tiny baby boy idea. I was having a rough time. I'll do another episode on that some other time, I think. But as of Oliver and Tarzan, being in those two shows and starting to sort of become social again, I was gaining some traction and some confidence in terms of sort of my own acting skills, I guess. And I wanted to do something really difficult that I was going to decide not to give up on. This here's the float. Cal Poly University. Emily's back there waving to us. Here's some lollipops. It is a pretty interesting float, very whimsical. Emily's mom, Amy, worked a lot on those, and here it is. That was the front view. This is from on top of the float here, where Cassidy and I were working. We were texturing these giant ice cream cones with these kits, spreading the glue on and then covering that with these baked almond shells. Alright, that one's a little creepy. This is what we spend our time doing for the past couple of days. I thought you guys would like to see it. It's going to swing around to the outside in just a second. You head out those flaps right there, and this is where we had lunch. Or I should say dinner. It was delicious. There were some great ladies in crock pots over to the right. What? in crockpots. Come on now. Great ladies with crockpots. It's some mac and cheese and ham. It was delicious. It was a pretty cold night, the second night here, and the flowers had to be kept warm. So they're all in this tent here. This is the warmest spot of the whole area. Can't let them freeze. That would definitely be an issue. But they were lovely. Got some great Instagram photos. Instagram, because I got to do that now. Back to the main topic. There was a while where I really felt like I hadn't given college kind of a fair shot in spite of the things that brought me home. That's what this project was about, and that's what I want to continue, is to do things, exciting things, have experiences, and hopefully make up for a little bit of what I missed by not completing my term in real person college. I may go back at some point, but right now I just want to live a little. I want to get into this big city and kind of sink my teeth into it, shake it around, see what falls out.
But it's very mysterious. Maybe Green Day's back there. Cass, you think Green Day's back here?
Probably not.
But maybe. Dang it.
That's one of my goals for this year, is to accept kind of the adventures that come my way. I want to be willing to make mistakes. I want to remind myself that that's okay. One of the things that brought me to the decision to actually come out here was my summer of stupid things, and that was the summer of 2014. That'll definitely get its own episode later on. Right now, I'm focusing on my goals. I've got some goals for this year. I don't usually do New Year's resolutions. I think my last one was in 2013 to remember that I had a New Year's resolution, so mission accomplished. This is like a next time on kind of thing. I'm going to be giving updates on upcoming auditions and meetings or anything of that nature. But until I've got auditions to talk to you guys about, here are my short-term goals for this year. I shouldn't say short-term as much as small time commitment every day kind of thing. These are my daily goals. I want to check out a new artist every day. It's probably going to be mostly music, but anyone new and artistic, maybe somebody local even, but somebody that can inspire me to keep writing and maybe even to incorporate it into acting somehow. I want to be writing a page a day, at least. My plan is to get into a better habit in terms of writing and actually putting out more content. I want to take a walk every day, hopefully to somewhere new, if I can find new places after a while. I want to get 2 shots of video a day. That's just like 2 clips of whatever it is I'm doing, because I want to get 3 videos out a week. That's my plan. That's kind of my goal for 2016. These are all my goals for 2016, but the one that I think is going to interest my chickies the most, the Compton chickies, is my 3 videos a week. I'm going to try and hold really fast to that. These are my goals. I'm going to stick with them. In addition, I want to every single day kind of vet an audition. I want to go look for the postings of auditions, and even if it's not something I'm super interested in, just get used to looking for the information, figuring out who's directing it, who's producing it, what's required, and get an idea of kind of what it's like to process the information before going into an audition. And then every week I want to read a script. Those are my short-term goals. I'll probably be thinking of more. If you can think of any that would be helpful, I'd love to hear about them. Long-term goals, I'm thinking about those as well. That's probably going to look like things such as getting myself a car, I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that yet. I'm thinking maybe from home so I can use that as an opportunity to get the rest of my stuff down here once I move into my new place. But my other big one is planning an official home visit, not just like going to check out a wedding somewhere. I'm talking actually visit home and see all my wonderful people. But until then, I need help thinking of a new name. Operation Gypsy Flower was always intended to be just the initial mission to come out here and check things out. So for the new videos, for the new year, I want a new name. I think it's going to involve the word blunderbuss because I like it and it's kind of search bar friendly, but I'm looking for things that basically are easier for you guys to Google, so you can go up there and it's going to be the top result kind of thing. So I want it to be unique. I want it to kind of make sense. I'm going to be thinking about it. You can be thinking about it. If you think of anything, let me know. Y'all are wonderful. Goodbye, wonderful people. I love you. Well, there you go.